that part. All right. Okay, awesome. Welcome to the Healing with Reflexology presentation webinar. It's awesome. I'm so excited. Today is the first day of school, and it's nice to get back into the routine and rhythm. So I'm very excited for today. I am going to do some screen sharing, and my first time we'll actually have a little video that I'll share with you during the presentation as well. I thought that the video really fit a little bit more of and gave a little bit better detail of how to do some reflexology either on yourself or on another person. So first off, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jen, and I am a doTERRA wellness advocate teaching people how to use essential oils safely to help heal their bodies of their ailments for the last 3.5 years. I'm also a student at Institute of Integrative Health Nutrition, and I'll be finishing that program in early of 2020, and basically that just gives me a little more tools to help you reach your goals in a more effective way for health coaching. So, but today's webinar is all about healing with reflexology. And I'm so excited. I'm going to screen share here so that way we can get going. I'm going to move this part down. Oops. All right. Hopefully this will work for me. Yes. Awesome. Okay. I love this technique, reflexology points. Number one, I love to use reflexology. A lot of times I use it on myself because I don't have, not every day I have somebody that would be able to apply essential oils to help maybe with a back pain or a part of my body that I can't personally reach. And reflexology has been very helpful because hopefully everybody can touch their feet or use your hands. And we're going to talk a little bit about the reflexology. But my biggest thing that I've ever had or experienced was helping my husband with his back pain. If you don't know, my husband used to be in the military. He was part of the 82nd Airborne and fell out of airplanes in the sky during the late 90s. And, hitting the ground at 35 miles an hour does hurt. And he has back issues because of those. And then, of course, being in law enforcement as well, he just exacerbated his back injuries. So what our life was like before doTERRA essential oils was that he would have a back spasm and he would be on the floor because that was the most comfortable place in the house, on the floor for about 2 weeks. And when essential oils were introduced to us, I was telling him, hey, I want to use some doTERRA on you. And he was just like, please just don't touch my back. And that was his biggest thing. He did not want his back touched. So I said, well, are you okay if I touch your hands and your feet and use the reflex points on your hands and feet and apply the essential oils? Now, mind you, this is almost 4 years ago. And he says, do whatever you got to do, just do it. And I was very excited because he gave me permission to apply essential oils on him on reflex points that I knew would work. And they did. And before it was him laying on the ground for 2 weeks, it turned into 24 hours. And he was back up and able to go to work and function as a father and as a husband. And at the time, he was a deputy sheriff. So that was my biggest aha moment about reflex points. And then I really started to dig into the reflex points when it came to me, because I did not have the people, then my children were 6, and tell my kids, hey, can you please put some oil, on this point right here, and they're looking at you going, what are you talking about? Okay, can you put some oil on my back? And they put it on, on my shoulder, and because they're thinking that the shoulder is your back, and that's not where I needed the oil. So, and again, putting oil on my reflex points is really helpful. So I'm really going to pair this presentation with not only relief using reflex points, but also pairing them with essential oils, so that way your body can help itself to heal. So first off, I do guarantee that I will be sending this replay to your email if you registered for the class. And that will be done tomorrow morning. It should be in your inbox about 5 o'clock in the morning. If it is not in your inbox, do check your spam folder, because sometimes it gets sent there. But that is one thing. I will also guarantee staying with you until all of your questions are answered for today. And then, of course, if you need additional help with either some health coaching or essential oil use, then absolutely we can either make an appointment if after this class is not a good time, or we can discuss a little bit later after class. So first off, what is reflexology? Reflexology is a systematic practice in which applying some pressure to any particular points on the feet and the hands, that impacts the health of that related part of the body. So each point of the pressure acts as sensors on the feet and hands, and is linked with different parts of the body specifically. So these sensors will be stimulated by applying the reflexology technique in order to improve the blood and energy circulation, giving the sense of relaxation and maintain homeostasis. So I'm going to remind you that reflexology cannot treat or cure disease, but what it will do is clear stagnation of energy, which would also result in pain and inflammation, and gives the body a sense of calmness so that way it can heal. Essential oils are also the same thing, except there's no pressure. So essential oils cannot cure and treat disease. What it does is it balances the body in whatever particular oil you've used that is for that particular part of the body, and kind of cleans the cells up a little bit so that way the body can heal itself. Sorry, I covered up my buttons there. There we go. So let's talk about some theories. If you've hung out with me at all a little bit, I like to back you up into the beginning, give you a little bit of a foundation, and then we build on that. So basically, reflexology relaxes the body and the mind and helps to relieve stress. That's it. Stress is a part of inflammation. We really only have one disease, and that is inflammation. So reflexology allows the body to heal when you are practicing it and regenerate itself. However, there's no one theory that works, and nor has been proven. So there are several that we're going to talk a little bit about. And so the first one is going to be the central nervous system theory. And that is basically the neurological relationship between the skin and the nervous system. So, when you touch your hands or you're reaching, you feel something hot, those peripheral nerves will send a message to your brain very, very quickly. So the same thing happens with reflexology. So basically it sends a message from the peripheral nerves on either your hands or your feet to the central nervous system to adjust the body's tension levels. So if you have a hurt foot, your body will adjust and over or compensate by maybe taking by walking a little bit more on the other foot. Okay, so this is when you are adjusting the body's tension level by putting that gentle pressure on the certain points, it allows the body to relax and for better blood flow to and from the organs or other parts of the body. Another theory for you is called the neuromatrix theory. And that is basically pain is created in the brain. So for instance, you have maybe some knee pain and that signal is going up to your brain and your brain goes, I have knee pain. And then you're feeling it in your knee. It happens very, very quickly. So by applying pressure to specific points in the hands or feet, the body is then put into a relaxed state that relieves stress. Remember, stress is inflammation. And therefore, when that pressure point is put on to the body in a specific spot, hands and feet, then the pain will be diminished. Another theory for you is the vital energy theory, and I talked a little bit about that as far as there's energy in the body that becomes stagnant or builds up and causes congestion. So congestion can be perceived as pain, or maybe like a kinked neck where you can't turn your neck all the way over and you're kind of like this and you can't turn it because you have a little bit of congestion in the neck. And that does lead to pain, illness, and disease. And so when you are putting gentle pressure on the reflexology points on the hands and the feet, then that will give that blood flow a little bit more, and it helps to unobstruct the the congestion of that area. Okay, so whatever the theory it is that that you want to go with, because everybody has their own beliefs, which is amazing. It's the result is that the body achieves more a relaxed state by using reflexology. And in the state of stress relief is possible. I just did a little therapy session on myself today because I was having some first day of school jitters. And once I dropped the kids off today, I was very tense in my shoulders just because today's not only the first day of school, but it's also the first day of school at a new school. So, we get a little bit stressed for our kids, don't we? So I performed a little bit of a head and neck reflexology on myself, and it was very easy. We're going to go into how to do that. And I'm much able to relax and be present with you here. So what are some stress-related illnesses? Because we talk a lot about stress. Some people will say, okay, I just have maybe some stress tension in my shoulders, but prolonged stress can go into illness. So what are those? Just some examples: heart disease, asthma, obesity, diabetes, headaches, migraines, depression, anxiety, GI problems, so IBS. How about some brain disorders other than the headaches, like maybe some dementia? And then, of course, something that we women are always worried about, that accelerated aging. We always want to stay youthful. So I strongly recommend getting in the habit. It feels a little weird at first, rubbing your hands and feet. However, it is very, very helpful in a number of things, as you can see here, just to relieve the stress. Okay, so some natural stress relief. Stress is 80% of the contributing factor of the development of illness and disease. And reflexology is a stress relieving practice. I can't stress enough on this point for you. that this is really is part of, when we deal with the stress, then we will not have the other things to follow. Okay. So remember that reflexology stimulates the production of endorphins, which are the hormones that make us feel good and relieve pain, which is also something we really want, right? So I want to talk a little bit about mapping of the hands and feet. I have some few favorites of mine, but really, it's going to be whatever you look. I would recommend getting on Google and put in reflexology mapping of the hands and feet. Click on the images portion, and there will be tons of things that will be shown. But I have a couple of charts that I actually use that are hung actually right. They usually are hung right there, and this wall right here as I'm pointing at. And I like to use those because my kids can read them. They're up all the time. I know where they are, and they kind of look like this. So I like to use this one because it does have a foot. It's a foot. This one's the feet, the foot reflexology and stuff. So, and I know I'm screen sharing, so let's actually stop the screen sharing so you can actually get a better look. Okay. Okay. I hope you guys can see this a little bit better than when we were screen sharing. I apologize for the glare. So here is the, and I love to use these because let's say you got a brain, pineal, and pituitary issue. So you can use some frankincense, some immortelle, balance, and then it gives you all the things of where we can find the brain points, okay? Same thing with the hands. Here's this one here. Gosh, I hope you guys can read this and not coming backwards for you. And again, it goes into really everything. It's very, very, very easy to use. And I find this very helpful because of times where we're by ourselves. And that's, you know how that goes. We have that all the time, right? Us as women, we are always taking care of everybody else, and really there's nobody to take care of us. So find your map, print that out, and keep it handy for you. I actually do like to keep it on my not my nightstand, but my table that's next to the couch, because that's usually when I'm trying to relax a little bit. I have a thinking place area that I have a thinking place, and I have my map there, and I can just grab an essential oil very easily and then find the point that I need to work on, and then I can just actually I could be having a conversation with you just taking care of a headache. I know. Crazy, huh? All right, let's see if this is gonna, oh. For some reason, this is, okay, good. It was not it was being a little nutso there for a moment. Sorry about that. So a reflexology appointment. Now I want to talk a little bit about a technique that I do use. It's called aroma touch. And there's actually two techniques there. And it's called the aroma touch technique, which is the whole body. And then there's the hand technique, which is super awesome to use, especially when you don't have, about half an hour of time. You can't lay down on the massage table, but somebody may just want to, or you want to give a gift to somebody of touch and just kind of really massaging the hands. The session is very easy, and I just like just to talk with people, sit and talk with you, make you comfortable. How are you doing? And we basically just talk through it, through your time, whether I'm doing the hand technique. And we'll talk just a little bit about the hand technique. So basically, you're putting oil on your hands, and then you are just basically using gentle pressure. And if you have long nails, that's okay. Just concentrate about using the pads of your hands or your knuckles when you're using them, because you don't want to dig people in with the nails. You don't want to make it feel like you're scratching people, because some people don't care for that. I learned that the hard way. So use the pad or the knuckle portion. And so basically when you put an oil that's over on it, and I like to use Balance because Balance will take care of a lot of like anxiety, some depression, even pain, even just overall moodiness, not happy. I mean, fill in the blank, really. I mean, Balance essential oil is amazing. Just put it on, and then you're basically going to just kind of walk the feet. And I'm going to show a little bit of video on this too, because the video was amazing. So we're just going to basically walk the hand of the fingers from the wrist all the way down to the end of the finger. And then you're going to do on each one. Really wonderful. Just make sure that that you are comfortable. That's the biggest thing. If you're doing this to yourself, which I had to do that, just be in a comfortable spot in your home where you're not going to be interrupted, or put your phone away, put your electronics away, maybe if you're watching TV. But it's really great, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what these lovely fingers do, of like what emotions you may be feeling too. So what to expect. Now, when I am having reflexology done to me, there are points on me that actually will make me laugh. And it hurts. I mean, it doesn't mean to hurt, but it comes out as laughing. Totally normal. Not everybody has that experience though. So you might be one of those people that starts to sweat. That is a normal experience. Or maybe you're starting to feel cold to the touch, or like you're starting like sitting in a cool room. You might cry. You might even want to sleep. The key is though, just remember to keep an open mind, and you don't really know what your reaction is going to be until you have it done. Just like I did not know that my reaction would be laughter until I was having it done. And my therapist was going, normally people are not laughing. So, but it's okay to experience these things. Just try to remain calm, stay relaxed, have an open mind, and give yourself some grace, because we are all human going through this road of life. So what can happen at the end? The end of the session, again, it's going to be very, very, very unique for each person. It could be that you may have a foggy head or a headache because maybe your congestion of your body has released. So remember to drink plenty of water with doTERRA lemon essential oil to flush those toxins out. You might have to go to the bathroom a lot. That is my case. I'm literally running to the bathroom about every half an hour. But that's how my body is getting rid of the toxins. You have to remember, this is it's not a massage, but the reactions may be the same. So, you're getting rid of the toxins out of your body. Your body is getting into homeostasis. So it's going to get rid of waste by either urination or a bowel movement. You might have some emotions that come out. Remember, this is a holistic practice. So we have stimulated some things in you that may draw some emotion. So for instance, my oldest, when I do reflexology on his feet, he has to have a bowel movement. And he does pretty regularly all the time. He has a lot of worry. So for him, the worry is always in people's gut. When you have that gut feeling, I have that gut feeling that this is not good for me. Same thing. It's that worry that you are having that settles into your stomach. That's why a lot of people have IBS or any type of GI issues. Another thing is you might need a nap. So give yourself some grace and relax, recover, and enjoy the time and great gift that you've given to yourself. Just please drink lots of water and with your doTERRA lemon essential oil. Okay, let's get into some reflexology of what we're going to use it for. All right. So this is an awesome technique, and like I said, I did one today just right before I jumped on here. And the points really help stimulate the flow of circulation to their neurological function of the whole body. So when your head is hurting, when you're having migraines, you want that blood flow going. I love to pair this with oils. Some oils that I do use would be either some doTERRA Deep Blue, frankincense, past tense, the oil of aroma touch, maybe some basil. I really like basil. Basil, remember, is a natural, has anti-steroidal properties, which is very, very helpful for very big pain. Like that's one of the oils that we use on my husband's back. Lavender can soothe a headache or a migraine, especially when it is when it's around your hormone time of the month. Marjoram, really great for soothing those nerves as well. Peppermint is always good for pain, unless you don't like the smell. Spikenard, turmeric, copaiba is also very good. And choose an oil that you have known that this works for your headaches or migraines, and then use your reflexology points. So when we go back to our chart, when we're on the reflexology points on our hands, as I look here, we're going to be working on the thumb, okay, which is awesome. Now on the feet, we're going to be working on the toes, okay, and those will be right at the top of the toe. Okay, I'm going to show you a little video. Hopefully it works. Remember, this is the first time that we're doing this. Hope you guys can hear everything. It's just I found that this video was very easy, a good demonstration, and that she really showed you how to, work this. Okay. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear it? You could hear the video? Oh, good. You okay? You can't hear it? Okay, I'm going to unmute you. LaDonna, can you hear it?
Well, she hasn't moved. It's frozen.
Oh, it's frozen?
She was moving and not hearing it. Now she's frozen.
Okay. Now I'll press play and see if it'll work.
Okay. No. Still not hearing her. She is moving now, though.
Okay. Well, then what we'll do, since that's not working, and that's okay, what I'll do.
Can anybody else hear?
Randy, could you hear it?
Not me, no.
Okay. All right. No big deal. No. We'll just, what we'll do is, I will include this video in the replay. So that way you guys can have it, because she gives a really great detailed, she literally walks through how to do the thumb walking and some of the points, especially with the migraine relief and using those. So that link I will include in your email, okay? All right. Sorry about that. First time trying something new. I know for next time. All right. So let's get moving with the physical effects of chronic stress. Everybody has some sort of stress, but when you have stress long term, you could experience some musculoskeletal system issues, respiratory issues, because breathing is very, very difficult. because your body is taking shallow breaths instead of that big, ginormous breath that it needs, so that way to have the oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange. The cardiovascular system can have, when that has stress, the heart rate can go up. The endocrine system and the yep is also a big play because of the fight and flight hormone, the cortisol. When we have excess cortisol all the time, that's not very good, healthy for your adrenal glands. And then, of course, sleep is very difficult. Overall, healing is not very good either. And of course, when you have high stress, your body will only do one of two things, either digest food or hold it for later to be digested. So when you're under a lot of stress, digestion is very difficult. And then for male and female, for reproduction, that stress can also play in a role. I'm sure that you've told your someone in your life, just relax and you'll get pregnant, you'll be okay. And how many times that has happened in my life? That's been quite a lot. So let's go into some DIY stress relief. So when you're suffering from stress, get into that nice, comfortable position, and wherever you are in your home. For me, it's on my couch in my little think spot, because I have my books and my tissue and my oils, and it's quiet, and I can just have a moment to myself and really get that point where I can be comfortable. I start to really concentrate on my breath, using the beautiful breath just to calm my nervous system down. You know, in for 4, hold for 2, and out for 6, which is great. Do that a few times. And then I will get to my hands with some beautiful, beautiful oils. Now, this picture is actually quite very, very good, because this is exactly how you're going to hold your fingers. So we want to do things bilaterally. And what that means is that what you do to the right hand, you should always do to the left. We can never keep ourselves unbalanced. So if you treat your left hand, you have to treat your right hand, okay? So with that being said, let's get our fingers out, and keep in mind that when you are dealing with any type of anxiety or worry, you want to apply pressure to your thumbs, and then put some essential oils involved with that as well. Maybe some balance, maybe some brave, maybe some breathe. Put those on. I like to put some oil between my fingers, and I will just literally, exactly the way this picture is showing, and I will just rub essential oil nicely and gently, firm pressure, not tight, not overbearing, and just rub my thumbs, okay? And then I will do the same thing on this thumb. Put some essential oil between my thumb and forefinger, and apply it to the other hand, okay? Now, if you're dealing with any type of feelings of fear, you'll want to use your pointer fingers. And you could use the balance or the brave or the breathe, but have maybe some elevation or maybe some frankincense. Again, putting some oil on your thumb and forefinger, and just put firm pressure around your finger, and then again on the other side, okay? If you are dealing with any type of resentment or anger, you will use your middle finger. Again, maybe choosing some essential oil, maybe some blue tansy, maybe some lavender, maybe some patchouli, maybe some serenity or balance. Putting some oil on your fingers, and then rubbing the middle fingers. Firm, not, hold on. Oh. Okay, so, and then doing to the other side. Sorry, I got a little pop up there. Now, if you are dealing with any type of sadness or depression, then you would use maybe some bergamot, maybe some elevation, maybe some frankincense, wild orange, peppermint, or even some balance. Oh, I'm sorry. Randy, I think you have my screen, girl. Please, there we go. Okay, sorry. I was like, wait, what happened? My thing changed. Okay, so on, if you were having, would like to have some optimism and some self-confidence, then you will use your pinky fingers, excuse me. And you can also use some essential oil of bergamot or elevation, balance, wild orange, and you will just do the same thing, rubbing on the using the oils and putting it in onto the pinkies. Okay, super awesome. This is some great ways just to get some stress relief. I always like to, for me personally, if I am, like today, I was very worried, so I was rubbing my thumbs, going, you know, as my husband's driving it to school, I'm rubbing my thumbs, and then I will always follow it up with my pinky because I want to have optimism and self-confidence. So I want to get rid of that old emotion that I currently have, whatever it is, whether it's anxiety or worry, fear, resentment, anger, sadness or depression, but always follow it up with my pinky. All right, let's beat some back pain, okay? So let me talk a little bit. I'm going to back you up back to that story about my husband and putting some essential oils on his hands and his feet, because that back pain that he was having so badly that he could not even allow me to touch his back. And so I'm going to give you that recipe, and then of course some back pain that could cause, you know, reasons to have back pain. Could be anything. I mean, you could be sitting down here and then you reach down for a paper and your back spasms like that. But it could be any type of overwork, whether you're gardening or you're exercising, sitting at your desk too much, or you know, lifting your kids, whatever. Maybe you have a ruptured disc or a bulging disc. That would be horrible. Arthritis, absolutely, you know, with overuse and then continued aging. Maybe there's some skeletal irregular, you know, like just maybe some scoliosis or osteoporosis. So the points on your hands is going to be from the base of the wrist along the thumb here. Okay, that is your spine. Now the spine, it's going to be basically, this will be your sacral, and this will be the crown of your head. Okay, and on your feet, I'm going to use this lovely thing. Hopefully you can see. The feet is going to be basically from the top of the foot all the way down to the heel. Okay, and it's going to be on the inside point. Okay, on the inside of the foot. So basically, this is going to be the top of your head, and it goes all the way through the cervical spine, the thoracic spine, and then down to the lumbar spine, and then the sacrum. Okay, and I just apply essential oils directly to that part. So I will always layer with, it's a layering technique. I start with coconut oil first, so that way you can have your nice barrier. The essential oils are absorbed very slowly, so you get a little bit more therapeutic value out of that. And also, you will be able to not have any type of reaction to the essential oils, because, you know, everybody's different. My oldest reacts all the time, my youngest does not. So please start with a little small layer, not dripping, just a small little layer of coconut oil. Fractionated is good because it's not greasy, it won't stain your clothes. Frankincense is the first layer. Remember, when in doubt, we frank it out. Super awesome for any type of central nervous system, brain, and spinal cord. It's really good for cellular health and really very helpful for bringing the emotions down. So that way, as if you're in any type of pain or excruciating pain, I know that I am not my best self when I'm in a lot of pain. So make sure the frankincense is very helpful with that. Plus, it makes the other oils even more powerful that you layer on top. The next oil that I'll use is basil. Basil is a non-steroidal, has non-steroidal properties. So remember to use, and it goes right on top of that, of the frankincense. Okay. Lemongrass is wonderful for connective tissue, and in the back, there's a lot of tissues that are all interconnected together, so that way the spine is protected and the movement of your body can actually exist. So without that connective tissue, we would be like this and then not being able to move. Also, lemongrass is very clearing to the body of any congestion. So remember, if you have that kink in your neck and you can only move your neck to here, you have a lot of congestion that is forbidding you to move forward and to go that full range of motion of your neck. Okay. So with that being said, it's really good to use some lemongrass to help clear away that congestion. Remember, pairing essential oils with reflexology is so powerful. I love to use turmeric. Turmeric is very wonderful for anti-inflammatory. The turmeric that doTERRA gives to us is not curcumin. It is turmerones, which is 80% more concentrated and more pain relieving experience than curcumin. So turmeric is in there. And then the fifth oil that I do layer on for the spine reflexes for my husband would be copaiba. Copaiba is doTERRA's, it is not THC, it is not CBD. Works very, very differently, but with the same results as you would get with CBD or THC, except there is no, you don't get high in the brain. So you can operate a motor vehicle without any side effects. So layering technique, basically one oil on top of the other. How many times a day do I do this? I will do this anywhere, but when he's in the middle of a crisis, I will do this every hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on his pain response. Okay, so there's reflexology with back pain. Okay, now what you can do. So remember, you can get into that beautiful, comfortable position if you are able to get to your feet. Use your feet if you feel comfortable with. But don't forget that these beautiful points on your hands, you know, your hands are here. So remember, whatever you do to the left hand, you must do to the right. And again, whatever you do to the right, you must do to the left. So that way you are balanced, because we want to stay in balance, okay? But if you can get to your hand, if you want to do your hands and your feet, which that is something that I do, I do sit crisscross applesauce. Thank you, yoga, for allowing me to have the flexibility to still do that. And I can absolutely get to my feet very easily in that manner. Okay, I love to do the thumb walking as well. And basically I start from the top of my finger, and then I'm going to basically small movements all the way down. Okay, you don't want to do big jumping movements because you might miss something. Okay, you want small movements all the way down. And the video in the email that I sent you will be very, very helpful for you in showing you a little bit more. Grab your essential oils. All right, reflexology for sleep. Sleep is one of my biggest issues. I've become very protective of my sleep because of many, many years of going without. And I actually do reflexology in my bed. I get into bed, and I have my nightstand, and I have oils right on my nightstand, and I'm crisscross applesauce in my bed, and I put my oils right in front of me, and now I'm going to do that. I can easily get to my feet. I personally like to use some essential oils for the brain points. The brain points are on your toes, so if you're on your hands, they're going to be way up here Same place on your toes, okay? It's going to be way up here by the nails, okay? And then the right in the center of the pads of the fingers, and also the pads of the toes, okay? So put some oils. So if you would like some clarity or some positive thinking, use that head and brain points and maybe put some citrus on there. Remember, citrus is very uplifting, whether it's going to be wild orange or tangerine or grapefruit, kumquat, clementine, great things, okay? Pituitary gland, again, that's the center of the big toe or the center of your thumb. That is very awesome to use for hormones, natural balancing hormone secretions. I use Serenity on my toes just to help. That has a blend of essential oils through doTERRA, and that really helps to promote all the hormones that I need for good sleep, okay? The pineal gland, which is on the outer side of the big toe, all the way up, that is a great must-needed gland in our brain because it helps secrete melatonin, and that which is important for the circadian rhythm. Now, what oil can we use for that? And that would be cedarwood. Cedarwood actually really helps to stimulate the melatonin letdown. So I would use cedarwood in that. Any type of thyroid, when I would like, I am a big proponent of let's keep the thyroid moving. We don't want that to stop. So applying oils directly over your thyroid is also very helpful. Frankincense, clove, lemongrass, and myrrh are just a few examples for thyroid health. Neck and shoulders to release tension. Absolutely. So when you have your, let's just pretend that this is going to be, you can use this on your hands too. So you have your pad of your thing, of your toes or your thumb or and then you have this lovely little neck portion of your thumb or your toe. It's the neck of our bodies. So you can apply some essential oils here, give a nice little massage around, and it will release the tension of the neck. And what I do or what I did right before I came on, is I just grabbed my oil of Aroma Touch and applied that around the neck portion of my fingers and toes, so that way I can release the neck and tension. The chest. Now, if you are, having some difficulty breathing, or when you lay down, like if you're especially an asthma or allergy sufferer, and then when you lay down, you have a little more difficulty with breathing, using some essential oil on the chest and lungs area of the feet or hands, which would be the ball of your feet. So this is the ball of the hand, or the ball would be the same part in the ball of the hand. So maybe some breathe, laurel leaf, if you are a lucky one to get one of that. Laurel leaf is amazing. Cardamom is amazing. All really good for eucalyptus is amazing. Great for respiratory health. So how about some relaxation and peacefulness in your mind, in your body, so that way you can get that great sleep. Some great places to use that or to push on that is your solar plexus. So when you look at I hope you can see this again. When you look at if you're looking at your own foot right here, or the right underneath the ball of the feet, you will see this. This is the diaphragm of your body, okay? And then when you get to there's always a little, for lack of better words, almost like a triangle, and you'll see like a little spot. That is your solar plexus. When you push on your solar plexus, you will give yourself profound peacefulness. Add that with essential oils of frankincense or balance, peace, maybe some citrus bliss, maybe some passion. Be great to give some just relaxation. Okay? All right. So I hope that was helpful. If you guys try any of these for sleep, please, and you have some success, I would love to I would love to see what you guys are doing, you know, what you're seeing or experiencing, because I love to learn from you. All right, some DIY reflexology. Remember that hand technique. I would strongly recommend going onto doTERRA.com and looking at the aroma touch technique, hand technique. Even there's tons of YouTube videos as well about how to give one of those things. But the key is just remember, it is not necessary to have an issue in order to give yourself any type of reflexology. Remember, holistic. So this is a lifestyle. We want to be able to not only prevent the issues, but yeah, we're preventing them. I mean, we're preventing the sickness. We want the relaxation. We want the stress relief. We want to be able just to be here, okay? Present in the moment. All right, now there's always some myths. You know, there's myths about essential oils, which that is a whole nother topic for another day, but there's always myths about reflexology. So one common myth is that it's painful, and that is not at all. So if you are receiving any type of, if you have a reflexology person, please maintain open communication with that person. And so that way, if you're like, hey, that's hurting, they can back off and still give you profound experience with reflexology. Another myth is that it treats disease. Again, I cannot say this enough. This does not treat disease. What it does is it creates homeostasis, which is balance in your body, so that way your body can actually heal itself, which we are capable of healing ourselves. We just have to use the tools correctly. So, and then what else? Yep, and okay. All right, more truths. Please do not use any type of reflexology if you have any type of open wounds, a rash, or an infection, okay? Because we need to be safe in those areas. Remember that you are stimulating portions of your body. So, for instance, if you are somebody that has, and then all of a sudden a rash will pop up, remember that is a toxin just leaving your body. So please remember to drink plenty of water when you're doing that, okay, when you're getting reflexology. Remember, reflexology treats the whole body of relieving stress, creating that relaxed state, improving blood flow, oxygen circulation, as well as promoting energy body flow through the body, okay? Okay, how do you find a reflexologist? Ask people. Ask people. My massage therapist is one that does it for me. He is amazing, but you know how many people I've had to actually go to before you find a good one. It's kind of like a good chiropractor. When you find the good one, stick with the good one. I'm not a big proponent of finding your medical professionals via Google, just because I would like to have that word of mouth referral. And then ask your friends. You know, they're like, hey, do you go to maybe some Bowen therapy or a massage therapist or ask people. You'd be surprised what people do to help themselves. All right. So again, if you start doing some reflexology and you're having an experience, I would love to hear about it. I'd love to hear about how things are for you, how it's making you feel, whether good, bad, and the ugly. Remember, sometimes people cry, some people laugh, some people are relaxed, some people have energy. So it's very, very different compared to people to people. All right, further reading. I know. If you want to know more, I have a huge list. I'm absolutely happy to help you, but just some things that you can look at on your own. The American Reflexology Certification Board, if you want to know, maybe get some more information about a reflexologist, that would probably be a very good place to go to. There's tons of videos on YouTube. I mean, just about anything's on YouTube nowadays, right? But I want to say thank you so much for just coming today. And, you know, this is your day, and you took it out and spent a little time with me, and I appreciate you. So I'm going to stop the recording, and then I'm going to hang out with the people that are here today to answer any of their questions. So I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you want some help with one-on-one coaching, let me know. If you need help with getting started with essential oils, I'm happy to help you on that too. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you again. Okay. And stop the recording.